What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Screening Room podcast. We got a quick episode for you here today. We're going to be reviewing Christopher Nolan's latest masterpiece, The Odyssey. I'm joined here by my co-host Mike, as always, and we're just going to talk about it for a bit. This isn't going to be like a full episode like normal. We still have one of those coming later this week, so stay tuned for that. But this is just kind of a little bonus episode. So, with that in mind, I'm excited to talk about this. I know Mike is also really excited to talk about this. So, yeah, I'll let you kick it off with your initial thoughts.
Okay. Well, for me, I went and saw this movie in the standard edition. I'm going to bring that up later on because we both saw it in different formats. But overall, even with just the plain standard edition, I thought this was a really well crafted film. I thought the acting throughout was phenomenal. Matt Damon giving like a career defining performance again as Odysseus. Anne Hathaway was fantastic. I really liked John Bernthal and Tom Holland in this. They were both really, really good in this too. Um, and overall, I thought, like I said, the acting was great. I know it's not entirely accurate, but I did like the costuming. The costuming, I thought, it really made it seem, traditional but unique at the same time, while it also kind of set the tone for the movie as this is, like a war epic, particularly with the Agamemnon armor. And that just looks so cool on the poster. I also liked how they did all the monsters throughout, and I like that they tried to use as little CGI as possible, especially with like the Cyclops and then the Circe's Island stuff. That was terrific, and those scenes kept me on the edge of my seat. Like I can't put it into words. It was an absolutely phenomenal theatrical experience, and I honestly think that so far this might be one of my favorites I've seen this year.
Oh, I mean, it is my favorite this year, and I think the only movie that could possibly give it a run for its money is Dune 3, and even then, it's Odyssey. I actually did get to see the first 4 minutes of Dune in front of my showing. I've seen it twice now. Odyssey. I've seen it. I was actually the first public audience in the U.S. to see it in 70 millimeter IMAX at the New York AMC Lincoln Square, and then I rewatched it today at just our regular local, regular IMAX. Seeing this thing, I've been following this movie literally since like Oppenheimer came out. I've been there for all the rumors. Like there was a rumor it was going to be a helicopter futuristic movie. There was a rumor that it was going to be like a vampire horror movie. And then eventually in December of it would have been December 2025, I want to say. It was announced that Nolan would be adapting the Odyssey, and that was really cool to me. And I've been following every little nugget of production news since then. So finally getting to see it, like, and my first time viewing it to be in 70 millimeter IMAX on the biggest screen in the country, I cannot put into words how cool that was. It's oh my god, it's just it's it's a movie. I agree with everything you said, but I think beyond that too, I like the fact, and this really goes for all of Nolan's movies, but especially with this one, I like the fact that despite being a movie made in 2026, Nolan's making it as if it was made in like the 60s, like something like Lawrence of Arabia or like Ben-Hur. It's not like relying on all these green screens, all the CGI. Like they're actually going to these places. They're actually like they're finding ways to do
Yeah.
everything practically, even when it's not very practical to do so. They're like going out of their way to make it as authentic as possible, and I think that really shows. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously the story, it's nothing new there necessarily, but it's just another adaptation. I know a lot of people were complaining about like the armor design, the costume design. Personally, I think that's such bullshit. Like it's an adaptation of a story that has a Cyclops in it. Like, like I don't care.
Yeah.
Like if Odysseus
This is
was
not
supposed
a
to be
story
wearing.
where, yeah, the realism is not at the forefront. with a good, in my opinion, with a good mythological fantasy story. I feel like creative embellishments help make it stand out, and it also separates it from the previous adaptations because this story is thousands of years old, and that's not even an exaggeration. So to have something a little different is not too bad, in my opinion.
Right. And, you know, if you, and it's one of those things where if you don't like this version, there are other versions of like other movies. So
Yeah,
it's like,
and there
it's
will
just,
probably be more versions of this in the future.
oh yeah, 100%. Like, it's not trying to be the definitive version of the Odyssey. It's just Christopher Nolan's version of the Odyssey.
Hmm.
Um, and I don't know. I think it's great. Also, I got to give a shout out to the score. I just listened to it like
Yes.
on its own on Spotify now that they finally released that. It's so good, man. Ludwig
Yeah.
cooked. Um
Gordonson, yeah, it was fantastic.
I
And I
uh,
can't believe I'm going to say this, but I actually liked Travis Scott's um, part in the end credits song. That was really well done too.
yeah, cuz it was unlike
Um,
anything he's really done. I mean,
yeah, I wasn't expecting it, to be honest. And then once I heard it at the end, it really like elevated. Like I wanted to stay for the whole credits, and that's something unless it's like a post credit scene, I usually don't do.
right.
Unless it's a movie I've really enjoyed.
Right. Yeah, I mean, and that's a long one too. It's like what, like five, that's 5 minute
Oh
song.
yeah,
Yeah, but like
yeah,
even
yeah,
Ludwig's
about five
score,
minutes.
it's like I love that they didn't do it like a typical like orchestral score. Like Nolan specific,
Yes,
there's already like a little maybe it's a stretch to call it documentary, but like a 5 minute
like a making
video.
of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
little thing with Ludwig, and he's like explaining how they did the score and how they limited themselves to just instruments that they would have had, you know, like 3,000 years ago. They even went through like
Mhm.
old Greek texts and like rebuilt instruments that I couldn't even like name off the top of my head, but like instruments that existed back then that we don't really use anymore. And then also used like natural acoustic stuff, so like, you know, hitting
Yeah.
stuff together, that kind of thing. Um and it sounds so unique, but it's like it just works so well. I think my favorite
Yeah.
instances of the music in the movie, and I guess spoilers, I suppose. I don't know, like if
Yeah.
if you care. I mean,
Uh,
the
Yeah.
story's as
I
old as
mean,
time, but
the
you know,
story is older than literally everything, so
but
watch out. There's going to be some things that we're going to talk about.
but like I think my favorite instance was when they were fighting the giants. That the
Yes, that was
music was
great.
so good, and then obviously the Battle of
That was
Troy,
good.
that was great. Um,
Yes. I will say though, as far as the sound goes for this, I liked how they did the siren bit, where we
oh
have
yeah.
Odysseus tied to the mast of the ship, and we could hear it through the wax. And it's interesting because you want to hear more of it, but obviously you can't. And I think that really kind of played into the mythology of it. And then both like I said, the mythology and the actual sound effects from it too. I thought that was great, and I liked again. And this was in the standard version. I thought the cinematography was fantastic in this, and I love that they shot it in the locations that they were talking about. I love that they shot it in. I mean, they said they shot it in Iceland, but they shot it in Italy and Greece, which I thought it was really awesome, and it helps add the authenticity of this as an adaptation, and it really pays homage to it.
Yeah, I mean they even went to I could be getting some of the names here wrong, but the cave that they filmed the Cyclops in, that I believe that was like the cave that Zeus was born in. I think I heard that, but like it's an actual like historical cave and they like basically turned it into a soundstage. They had like a 45-minute walk uphill with the cast and crew, and then they literally to film it because this is the first movie that's ever been shot on 70 millimeter IMAX, which we'll get into more later. But they literally had a helicopter flying outside the cave with an IMAX camera strapped to it. I mean, it's just like it's one of those things that like no other director could get away with doing, but Christopher Nolan, because he's kind of like at the height of his career, he's just off of his like Oscar sweeping movie. He can get away with that. And it's a movie that I believe the budget was like 250, 300 million or something like that. And unlike a
Yeah,
lot of other movies that we've seen that cost that much, this movie actually looks like it cost 300, like it you can actually see the budget on
yeah,
screen. Like I'm like, "Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes
yeah.
sense." Like
And you can see every single penny that was spent, and I couldn't think of any that I would change.
no. It's just it's just so good. Like and again, I mean, I know I'm kind of beating over a dead horse, but the fact that they went
A dead Trojan horse?
yeah.
Yeah,
Like the fact that like they went cuz they easily could have done this. It wouldn't have been as good, but they could have absolutely just done this on a soundstage and for like a fraction of the
yeah,
cost. But the fact that they went out of their way to make it tangible and do it for real is just it just
yeah,
translates so well to the screen. It's great. And again, seeing it, you were talking about the cinematography, again, seeing it in the full 143 to 1 70 millimeter IMAX aspect ratio, it is insane. Like even just down to the technical stuff. Like I don't whoever was doing the focus pulling on that movie, I mean props. I mean we know Hoyte van Hoytema was doing the cinematography, but there had to have been a dedicated focus puller, and when you're working with a sensor that giant, because basically the digital equivalent to this movie would be like 18K. um
yeah,
like whoever was doing the focus pulling, I mean, my god, it's just
yeah,
ridiculous. I mean, again, they like built new technology for this movie. Like Nolan literally went up to IMAX and was like, "Hey, I'm doing the Odyssey. If ever there was going to be a movie that we shot entirely on the format, this is it." And he challenged them to build a new camera, and they did. It's called the IMAX Keeley camera, um, which is made out of the same parts that F1 cars are made out of. It's a lot quieter. And then they also built a thing called the blimp, which is a like an enclosure that the camera goes in to like muffle the sound. Because the whole thing is the old IMAX cameras were so loud that you couldn't do like dialogue scenes with them. Which is why until now a movie has never been shot entirely on the format. Um, but yeah, like just the extent like behind the scenes of what of what they went to make this movie. I just
yeah.
it's great. But
We were also talking about the cinematography and the budget, but I really enjoyed the practical effects in this movie too. The two scenes, and then again, there are spoilers, but you know, is what it is at this point.
yeah.
That really stood out to me was the Cyclops scene with the puppet, but the Cersei's Island scene. The fact that they had used camera angles and trickery with practical prosthetics made that scene even more uncomfortable. I think I'd still would have been like I would have been uncomfortable regardless, but if it was like CGI, it wouldn't have hit as much and it would not have been as disturbing to see as they did in this, where it was a completely practical thing and you can see them interact and like mold them into pigs. And that was just it really added to that. And I think, and on top of like the authenticity, like I had mentioned earlier, it makes it feel like this is something that looks real. For something like a mythological monster, this looked like a tangible thing that you could see. Whereas like with CGI, you can like see the slight differences, or like when it with the character interactions, but with the prosthetics that were used, it made it feel like it was real. And that added to the body horror elements of that. And then with the authenticity of the actual Cyclops as a character, it made it look like a real character.
Yeah, because I mean the thing, like I said, when you're dealing with 70 millimeter IMAX and it's like the digital equivalent to 18K, if you were to do, if you're photographing an 18K, the CGI, if you're gonna put CGI on top of that image, it's gonna stand out like a sore thumb. I mean, like you think CGI looks bad in like a Marvel movie where they're shooting at like 4K, it's gonna look atrocious in something like this. It's just it's not gonna look tangible. So that's why I think like they're really going for the practical side of it. And I mean, regardless, I think it looks better. But yeah, I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not like I wouldn't really say I'm a big horror guy, but I mean, the body horror stuff in that
Oh
was
my God.
just it
It was
was
very, for me,
crazy.
yeah, yeah. For me, the first thing that came to mind was the transformation scene in American Werewolf to London. It it had that same look with the practical and then the makeup effects. But oh my God, it was, like I said, it was just so incredibly disturbing. The acting in that scene was great too. Like I said, overall, this was a really star-studded cast,
Yep.
and I thought that was really good. And speaking of intense, the Trojan horse scene was
Oh yeah.
phenomenal. It really had you on the edge of your seat watching it the whole time, and you did not know who was going to get out of that horse. Obviously, Odysseus was, but you did not know who was going to make it out of there. And of his crew, you did not know who was going to get home, which it's just him at the end. And that's something you find out not even like close to the end of his voyage, like a little while beforehand, he finds out.
Well, and I liked with that whole thing they brought up like the actual like I don't even know if practic the logistics I should say of like of what that would be like in real life. Like when John Bernthal, I forget his character's name, but when John Bernthal was talking about how like they're in there for a few days, so there's gonna be like human feces in there, for example. Like that's something that never would have occurred to me, but like that is exactly what would have
What would have
happened.
happened?
Yeah. Um, that whole Trojan horse sequence was
Oh my God.
that was that was
Yeah, the
really
sacking
good.
of Troy was incredible.
Yeah, that
And
that was a highlight.
yeah, and yeah, and the fight choreography was outstanding too. I liked that. And then I liked the final battle with Odysseus versus all of the suitors. That was really fun to see.
Yeah, and
I
there
thought
was
it
a
was
lot of
really
payoff
creative
in
with
there
that.
too. Yeah.
Yes, and Robert Pattinson as the main suitor was diabolical.
Oh yeah. No,
He
like
gave an incredible performance in this.
he probably didn't have that much screen time. I'm guessing maybe like 10 to 20 minutes, but what he
Yep.
had, like
He
he
used what he
stole
had.
the show. Yeah, he's I mean, I've been saying this for years. He's one of the best actors of all time. It's like a crime that he has
Mm.
not. I don't know if he's even been
You mean the guy
nominated
from
for an
Twilight?
Oscar. Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
that's the problem. People just see him as that guy, but
as Edward from Twilight.
now he's everything from
Yeah,
Batman. He was in like some A24 movies. He's in Dune
yeah,
3 now. He's in this. I mean, oh my
yeah.
god. Even his voice
He's in
work,
all
like
sorts
if
of
you
stuff
watch
now.
The
Yeah.
Boy the Heron, the English dub of that movie, he's like I if I didn't read the cast list, I would not know that was him. Like
Hmm.
he's great. I mean, the whole cast in this. Also,
Yeah.
one person we didn't mention but absolutely deserves a shout out. John, I might be pronouncing his name wrong, but like was Zamo, um
Yes. Yes.
he oh my! Again, I forget his name, but the character's name, but he was playing like the blind guy at the palace.
Yep.
He was I mean, I
Awesome.
think a lot of the actors in this movie gave a career best performance, but him especially. Like, holy!
Yes.
If I didn't know that was him playing that role, I would never. I mean, part of that's also the prosthetics too, which were great.
Yeah.
Um, but my God, he was unrecognizable in that. And I think we also have to talk about the elephant in the room, Benny Safdie as Agamemnon.
And Mendon.
Uh,
Yeah.
he had
He was
barely
good.
any
I
screen
liked him.
time, but what he had,
Yeah. He was just straight aura farming the whole time.
oh, he
And
easily the
it's
best
another
costume
character
in the
that's,
movie,
oh,
and
without a doubt.
yeah, he
Um,
just or farmed
yeah.
the whole
Just
time.
again, just another like absolutely like evil character, but he looks so cool. It's
Right,
like the equivalent of like a Darth Vader like aesthetic like that you're gonna get,
and I
and it's
mean,
just wild.
again, like spoilers, but at this point, whatever. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, like I think it's a really cool parallel how you have this character who is, I mean, there's no better way to put it, like is literally just aura farming the whole movie. And then it turns out that he dies in like the least cool way possible. Like he dies
yeah,
in bed because his wife stabs him.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
meanwhile everyone else who was at war, they get like a warrior's death. And meanwhile he I don't know. I think that's a
yeah.
really cool
Well, I
parallel.
also think it's a good parallel to Odysseus himself, because even in the movie, Odysseus went so that way his son wouldn't go, but Agamemnon killed his daughter so he could go to war.
Yeah.
So
For better
naturally, when
wins.
Odysseus came back for better winds to go to war, not even to win the war, to go to
More
war,
favorable wins.
um, more favorable winds. So I find it to be quite ironic that he gets home early, gets murdered instantly by his family, but then when Odysseus comes back much later, his family, welcomes him back with open arms. And
Right.
it's just kind of like I said, it's a moral irony that
Yeah.
Odysseus was under this guy's command, but Odysseus had obviously the better fate.
Right. I mean, yeah, because I mean, nobody's arguing that Odysseus was 100% the better person in that story, but
Yeah, at least in
god
this
damn it,
iteration.
I
But yeah,
Agamemnon was still so cool. He was freaking
yeah.
awesome.
Uh,
I'm a little salty.
so
Our the theater AMC Lincoln Square, the New York City one, they had the New York City like the full premiere with like the cast, the crew, everyone 2 days before I got there, the 14th. And they had the Trojan horse outside the theater. They had like all the costumes inside. I was like, oh my God, I'm literally going to the first public showing there. I bet you all that's still going to be up. So I got there. Trojan horse was not there. There were other people like standing outside too. They're like, oh, you looking for the horse too? It's
oh,
like,
they got you.
yup. I
They
was like,
got you.
nope,
Yeah.
wasn't there. And then we go inside. They weren't done screwing me over. I get inside. I go up to the floor like where the costumes supposedly were. And I'm looking for the Agamemnon one, and it's not there. They took it down. Now, to be fair, they still did have the case with the Telemachus one, the I believe it was
Yep.
Athena, and then Odysseus's costume. So, which were all screen used, by the way. So I did still get to see
Yeah.
three actual costumes from the movie. So I'm not trying to sound like a greedy bastard, but I'm I'm mad that I could have seen the Agamemnon one, but I couldn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, just a little
But
rant.
uh,
But
yeah. And as far as the thumbnail, as it being, the best movie of the year, so far for me, we still have a lot left this year, but so far it's kind of it's taken my number one spot. It was Project Hail Mary for the new releases this year, but this has officially dethroned that for me. And it's a great movie. There's no other way to just put it. It's a great movie. You're gonna have to go see it.
yeah, I mean, I'm looking at my letterboxd right now. I have like a 2026 ranking, and so far, and I think you might find one of these in particular a hot take, but I've got Odyssey is my number one, and then Project Hail Mary, Michael, and then this is where I think you're gonna disagree. I have Disclosure Day up there. I know I like that one a lot more than you did.
Okay.
And then I have the drama, Toy Story 5, Hopper's Obsession, and it goes on. But um,
No Scary Movie 6.
that one's towards the bottom of the list. I will say it is
Ah.
not the last. I'll tell you, the dead
Okay.
last is Lee Cronin's The Mummy. that
Okay.
that one's a dead last.
Hmm.
That was a rough watch, but anyway.
Knows something, yeah.
That's
But
completely besides the
anyway,
point. But yeah, no,
yeah.
I think in terms of stuff, I mean, honestly, I don't think anything's gonna beat this. I think this is the best movie of the decade, to be frank. And upon
Ooh.
rewatch, I could see it like even going up from there. Like, but I
Hmm.
think in terms of like I said in the beginning, I think the only thing that'll really give it a run for its money is Dune 3. There are still some movies coming out later this year that I'm excited for. In particular,
Oh yeah.
I'm not. I'm probably gonna mispronounce the director's name, the guy who did The Revenant, but the new Tom Cruise movie, Digger. I'm really excited for that. That looks
Mm.
really good. So I don't know. I mean, there's still some stuff, and I mean, obviously you got like Spider-Man
Yeah.
and Avengers, which we'll see how
Mhm.
those go. Um, but yeah, I mean, we're definitely not. We haven't like
Done. Yeah.
yeah, we still have some big hitters, but I think the Odyssey is like,
Yeah.
at least for me, has
It's a tough one to beat.
yeah, it's kind of cemented itself, and it'll be really interesting to kind of revisit that during the Oscars race
Yeah.
into next year. I think that'll be really
Hmm.
interesting. But but yeah, did you have any other last minute thoughts you wanted to throw out there before I end it?
No, and I'm all set to give my final review.
Yeah. All right. So for me, I mean, I think it kind of goes without saying. I gave it a 5 out of 5. Um, I I've seen it twice now. I'm gonna be seeing it a few more times. I'm trying to. If you didn't know, Letterbox, you can literally platinum the Odyssey. They have like a digital punch card for like different formats. Not to mention, so I already have 70 millimeter IMAX and regular IMAX marked off. Um, I'm gonna be seeing it in 70 millimeter a few more times, and I'm gonna try to go to some of the other formats. But I think like upon rewatches, I could see it like going up my all-time favorite movie ranking list. I still haven't like firmly placed it anywhere, but I kind of have like a
Okay.
mental gauge of like roughly where it might be right now. But I want to watch it a few more times before I like firmly place it. But anyway, for the purposes of this review, I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. It's Christopher Nolan. He's the greatest filmmaker of all time, undisputed. I mean, the man's literally selling out 3 a.m. showings of this movie a month in advance. Like, what are we even doing? He's making a movie in the way that you would have done it in like the classic Hollywood era, like with Lawrence of Arabia, Ben-Hur, that kind of thing. It has an all-star cast. I mean, we didn't even mention Zendaya. Like the fact that
Yeah, she was great in
Zendaya
this
slipped
too.
our
And
mind.
Charlize Theron we never brought up
Yep.
either. They were both fantastic in this.
Exactly. Like that's my point. Or Lupita
Like, where there's
Nyong'o. We
more
didn't even mention
performances
her.
where keep like, yeah, there's just so many people in this that did a
Like,
great job that we're gonna miss some. We're
yeah.
just gonna miss some.
And it's not because
And that's
like
not because they were bad. It's just because there's so much to talk about.
exactly. So yeah, I mean, you have a star-studded cast. Yeah, it's the first movie ever shot entirely on 70 millimeter IMAX. Like it's literally a culmination of all of Nolan's like past skills kind of coming to a T in one thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I gave it a 5 out of 5. But
Yeah.
yeah, what was your kind of final verdict?
Well, for me, I also did give it a 5 out of 5. I thought this was a really, expertly crafted film, and I gotta just say it again, but it's a really good watch and it's enjoyable. Can you feel the runtime a little bit, but that doesn't detract from the momentum of the story. And that runtime, I feel like, really helps push how long he was away at sea. Um, but this is just this is a fantastic film, so I highly recommend it. And like I said, I am giving this a 5 out of 5 as well.
Also, I just realized we didn't mention the popcorn buckets. The popcorn buckets for this movie,
Oh my God,
for once, are
yes,
actually like the tie-ins actually make sense for
really
once.
good.
Like, yeah, the Trojan
Yes,
horse one, and then the one that we both got, the 70 millimeter IMAX popcorn bucket, which ironically
yeah,
we're both using for anything but popcorn.
DVDs.
Yeah, I'm using it as a
Yeah,
Blu-ray holder. but
yeah. I'm
but
gonna keep my
yeah,
writing stuff in there and DVDs.
hell yeah. I mean, yeah, anyway. I don't want to keep ranting, but definitely go see it on the biggest screen possible. If you can, I would highly recommend 70 millimeter IMAX. I know, especially now, like it seems like every theater, I mean, there's only 40 in the world, and it seems like they're all indefinitely sold out. But still, if you can, otherwise, just it's still worth seeing, even if it is in like standard or
Yeah.
whatever.
Oh,
You
absolutely.
can't miss it, but I would still say like at least try to see it on a bigger screen, whether that's like Dolby RPX or an IMAX, which is obviously preferable. But yeah, that's it for this review. Stay tuned in a few days for our like full screening room weekly episode. But with that all said, thank you all for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.